If you want to be a professional, say, chess player, you end up studying your opponents. Professional fighters study their opponents. Getting angry about political stuff, these people who you think protesting such that it ends up causing riots and problems and shit. You think like this is legit. That's okay. That's fine. But understand this. What you really should know about is if you are a young man in the Democratic Party, you still believe in that stuff. One of the problems you actually are going to end up having is that your team had total and complete power for 8 years. You had complete momentum. Obama was widely popular. The Republicans were on their heels. They were still trying to formulate something that they could put up against him, and they couldn't. They had Mitt Romney and John McCain. These guys couldn't hold a candle to them. To him. They just had no rapport with normal people in the United States. This is one of the important ones. Rapport with your audience. Know your audience. A lot of you just don't get how phony the leadership in your party comes across. Like, you're really not accepting like how shallow and phony. Most of your influencers come across as phonies, and mostly like kind of rich kids. That this is like, because there's a long history of that. Democrats are notoriously kind of like these college educated or college town, big city, highly educated types. They come from usually the middle class. Parents are professionals. And the issue ends up being is that this is like instead of real work like their parents did in some way, what they want to do is they want to be a professional agitator. This is very normal also for socialists. Long tradition of such. This is why the Republican Party has ended up being this thing that keeps relying on trade workers and farm people and agricultural America. It keeps having to go back to where it came from. Where it's strongest suited, because it argues for the constitutional republic, where Democrats want to expand on that idea, usually along the lines of the French Revolution. Don't be a chump. When you had complete and total power, they biffed it. They never even brought up making Roe v. Wade permanent. That's like where Cenk Uygur came from. Cenk Uygur came from the people arguing, why is Obama not trying to do these things? Look where he is now, still arguing for these things. Why? Because it's a grift for chumps. And you're gonna have your life wasted. I really mean this, young men. Liberal politics, you will waste your life. You really should focus on trying to just simply become somebody who owns their own business. Everything you should do should be directed toward that goal of being self-employed as much as humanly possible, and get land ownership outside of a major urban area. Outside of that, that's an easy way of understanding where things are kind of at the moment, in relationship to who you are in the audience for this, the young man who's still thinking there's something to the Democratic Party and what the Democratic Party is supposedly about. All right, well, take care.